Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you've seen in the title, in this video I'm going to replace the DPF on my 3 Series BMW. This is a 2010 308D, which is my daily driver, and this is the third DPF replacement on this car. I'm not replacing the old one with the new one, I'm replacing the new one with the brand new one in warranty due to issues, which you'll see a bit later. So although this DPF works fine, the heat shield around it keeps coming off and creating a very annoying rattling noise. And here you can see me taking off the plastics on top of the engine. It's quite a straightforward job, nothing too complicated. Also taking the airbox out to create a bit more space. Right, now that I've got a bit more space, I can take care of the electrical connectors. There's an exhaust temperature sensor which you see me unplug right now and pull the wire out of the way. The bigger connector on the back, that's the O2 sensor, which also needs to be unplugged. And there's also a hose going down, which you can see me unplug right now, which is for the exhaust pressure sensor. And I'm just going to do the bolt clamp. That's the clamp holding the DPF onto the turbo. Right, and that should be done. That's everything I need to do on top to get it loose. And now it's time to jack up the car and go under. There's a jacking point right in the middle of the car, which makes it easy to lift. Put it nice and secure on axle stands. And now take off the engine shield, which is held up by quite a few bolts. There we go, we've exposed the bottom of the engine. And here you can see the problem, you can hear it rattling. And as I said, this is the third DPF I'm replacing now. I'm putting the third new one, it's actually the second one that breaks in the same way. And you can see me showing a bolt right up there, which I'm gonna get to with quite a few extensions. Take it out. And there are two more bolts at the bottom on this bracket. The two smaller ones, not the one I'm pointing at, that's a mistake. They're the two smaller ones that are holding the bracket. Take them off. And also take the exhaust clamp off. I should have used just a normal ratchet here because it was quite stiff, as they usually are. And the two bolts. You can already see the exhaust gasket there dangling. That fell from between the turbo and the DPF. And that's it. Unplug it and it should just drop out. Just be careful not to damage any of the electrical connectors if they get caught somewhere. And it's out. So you can see here the biggest problem. That bit of metal should be connected, and on the new one you can see it's more like a design fault. They've got a nice weld bead down there, but they've got maybe a couple of mil either side of metal which holds it together, which is just failing every time. And I'm not a metal fabricator, but this just looks like dodgy work. They actually welded I've got a weld bead over the heat shield, and they expect that to penetrate through into the actual body of the DPF, and that's just lazy and shoddy workmanship if you ask me. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to take the temperature sensor out now. Also take the O2 sensor. Nice and easy to take out. Put some copper grease on them, just because I can see myself having to take them out in the future again, sadly. So that will just make it easier next time. Put them back in the new DPF and tighten them up. There probably is a torque setting, but it's not that critical. Just be sensible about it. And I'm not even trying to hide the branding on the DPF. It is what it is. They're pretty bad. They were cheap, I have to admit. Also take the metal bracket on the back of the DPF and put that on the new one. I'm just gonna screw it on, but I'm not gonna tighten the bolts because I just want to allow it some movement so I can align it first and then tighten everything up. And just push it nicely up. There we go. It's going into place nicely. And here we go. We're back on top. Pull the electrical connectors out of the way to make sure they're where they should be. Just pull the DPF to align it with the turbocharger. Don't forget about the gasket when you put them together. Put the clamp on top. I just use this tool to pull the clamp together so I can put the bolt in. Normally you probably wouldn't need it, but because it's quite a dodgy DPF, it just doesn't align perfectly no matter what you do. You need to force it into place a bit, so you need some sort of clamp to tighten it up. So yeah, just tighten the collar up. You can already plug everything back in, so that's the temperature sensor connector. Also plug in the O2 sensor. I forgot to show it, but you also have to plug the pressure sensor hose back into the DPF. So here it is, the engine's running. It's all pretty good. The plastic cover on top would need some new rubber bushing because it's a bit noisy, but it's running smoothly. It's all nice. I can't hear any exhaust leaks, so it's pretty good. Quite an easy job, not too complicated, it doesn't take too long, but it's quite annoying when you have to do it 3 times for the same failure. And here I am checking the exhaust pressure just to make sure the DPF has enough flow. There's nothing wrong with it, it's all good. And yeah, this seems to be fine. This is actually about 1,000 miles after the replacement, and it's still good. Everything runs as it should, so that's happy days. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.